Hello, how are you? Oh my God, nice to meet you. My name is Mariah. If you haven't seen me on your screen before, well, that's because I have not been on your screen on YouTube before. So, hello to you. Nice to meet you. My name is Mariah and welcome to my channel. I am here today to talk about Love is Blind Sweden. If you're wondering, okay, why Love is Blind Sweden? I mean, first of all, I love all the Love is Blind franchises from all other countries. And why the Swedish one, which will be my first review video? Well, because I live in Sweden, so I thought, why not? It would be a great time to review a show that actually happened literally like in my backyard. So here we are. We are going to talk today about the reunion. I mean, since this is the latest episode, so I would like to start with the reunion. Listen, I'm not just saying this because I'm Swedish, okay? But these couples or the non-couples, they looked amazing coming into that reunion. They were just, everybody looked so beautiful. Well, I don't know why they were showing just like their leg down and then it was like semi in the dark. I didn't quite understand it. I thought they were trying to like confuse us as to who is together, who is not together. I do not know why that happened, but they all came in. Everybody looked fantastic. And the host, as they all said, the host asked who and who is still married. Mind you, there were 4 couples still left in the experiment until the wedding day. 3 of them said yes. Only 1 couple said didn't get married, and that is Lucas and Emilia. They did not get married, but the other 3, they were married. So the host asked who and who is still married, and listen, Rasmus and Chrysalie. I mean, Chrysalie was trying me. Chrysalie was like, she had like a look, and I said, girl, no. You are not about to tell me y'all didn't make it or y'all broke up. Because out of all the couples, for me, Chrysalie and Rasmus was the ones, like the for sure, that I felt like, okay, they are definitely going to get married. They're definitely going to say yes. So when the question was asked, and I'm like, girl, you play too much. But anyway, they are together. Everyone is still together, actually. So it's Chrysalie and Rasmus, Oscar and Mira, and then it's Sergio and Amanda. Sergio, child. Sergio. Yes, we're starting with Sergio. Okay, I will talk about the rest, but we're starting with Sergio. Look, I cannot be the only one who did not think that at the reunion we will realize that, okay, Sergio and Amanda are not together. Perhaps when the cameras were turned off, she actually saw him for who he was, like what we were seeing, because I actually don't think Amanda was seeing what the rest of us were seeing. So I thought, okay, she's gonna really get to know him, and she will realize, okay, yeah, this is not for me. But that's not the case. They are still together. One thing that I was also expecting is that Sergio will he will watch the episodes and actually at the reunion take some accountability and try to, explain to us why you behaved the way you did. You didn't want to tell people your name. You were just, it's weird plus messy altogether. That's what Sergio was doing, and it's quite a shock that before he chose Amanda, there were 2 other chicks that were into him, and I'm like, what is going on? Are we seeing something that, is he like a part of Sergio that we are being shown that is actually not like all of him, that there are different aspects of him that are good that these women are seeing? Because if these women are saying yes and going on dates in the pod with Sergio from what we are seeing, then somebody's head needs to be checked. But clearly that is not the case, because he's still together with Amanda, and they had he spoke about sort of like his behavior in the pods. I guess hindsight is 2020. He understands that his behavior was not okay. And it's apparently also because he was insecure and dealing with some things, and he basically just made it everybody else's problem without dealing with his problem, by just treating people like shit and saying shitty things about people and acting like a douchebag. Basically, that's it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's hurt. They say hurt people hurt people. I don't know if there is that type of hurt, but it seems like Sergio was going through some things, being insecure about himself and all of this, and he basically projected it on the other females. For me, it is still, I so want to imagine sitting there in their living room, Sergio and Amanda, both of them watching the episode where Amanda mentioned that she had scoliosis as a child and she was bullied and everything. And even though at the time Sergio acted concerned, like, oh, I understand all about bullying and everything. But then he went to the men's lounge and started kind of like basically freaking out. Like, oh my God, what if she's ugly? What if she's not good looking since she was bullied and she has scoliosis? And I'm like, Sergio, Amanda is the prize. Between the both of them, come on, Amanda is the prize. And how freaking dumb are you? This girl did not say she has scoliosis now. She said she had it when she was a kid. Anyway, I would have just liked to be a fly on the wall to see the reaction on Amanda's face when she saw that, what he said. But anyway, I guess, you know, Amanda is like an angel. You know what? That girl, she is better than most of us, okay? She is one of a kind. Can't fault her for it. Maybe that's the type of person that Sergio need. But I'm glad they are so together. But look, we will get into some things later that I do not understand with these two people. But right now, they're good. He apologized. He realized that his behavior was not okay on the show and how people must have seen it and all these things. So we're like, okay, Sergio, we hear you for now, but we're going to come for you again later. Now, Amanda, listen, we all love and think Amanda she's wonderful. She's one of a kind. But, I mean, at what point do you actually start looking like, okay, girl, how clueless can you be? I don't understand it. Okay? Because there are things that Sergio did intentionally, lied to her intentionally, like in the pods, he lied about not dating other people. He lied about breaking up with them, and then that was not the case. And when that was brought up, I mean, I guess they figured that they spoke to her before they came on the reunion or something, but she was still defending him like, oh, no, that is not what it was. Like, I was always the one. But it's almost like he was just figuring out a way to break up with the other people. Look, we get that. It's the pods. Everybody is dating everybody. And it's completely fine to say, okay, you are my number one, but I've got number two and number three. There is a number 2 and 3 there that I am going to cut up things with and break up with. I am going to, not I have done it, not that there is nobody else, it's just you and me. No, because there is a difference. You see, you can't tell somebody, oh, I have broken up with my 2 other girlfriends and you're the only one, and then come back and when you were asked about it, when she realized that, okay, that is not the case, you actually broke up with the 2 people after you told her that you had already broken up with them. I'm like, come on now, Sergio, make it make sense. Did he not think that these girls would talk in the lounge? Did he think they all just gonna keep his little secret and be like, oh, I'm gonna keep this so that Sergio can be mine? Sergio! At this point, in fact, Amanda! Come on, girl! You are kind. I mean, everybody on the cast is saying it, how kind you are and everything. But girl, there is a point where kindness kind of become like clueless. Why? Amanda, why? You have no reason to be excusing this man's behavior. Y'all are still together now. Oh, child. There might be a reason why those two are still together now, but we're going to see later, okay? Y'all are together now, but look, the behavior of Sergio, he's like one of those ones, okay? They do shitty things intentionally, and then they just turn into somebody else, apologizing, trying to be nice. Look, he was out there apologizing to everyone, and if the carpet had offended Sergio would have apologized to the goddamn carpet and the table, okay? He was out there just apologizing. And for me, I do not necessarily think that they're genuine. And when he's doing those apologies, like looking into her eyes like, oh, I'm so sorry. Men, förlåt mig, jag förlåt mig, jag älskar dig älskling. Nej men herregud. Nej men herregud, Sergio. Sluta ljuga då. Stop lying. You cannot keep lying and doing all this shitty thing and think that you can just get away with it by just saying, I'm sorry. I realize I did this. I realize I did that. Now, my question is, Amanda, has he changed now? Has he really changed? I don't know. You know, we'll be out here stalking your social media and the Swedish news. So if he hasn't changed, we ain't gonna know, Amanda. And just know, girl, you deserve better. You do. That's just it. Now I'm going to leave Amanda and Sergio alone for a bit, but we'll get back to them later. Now let's get to Rasmus and Chris Lee. The name that Rasmus cannot pronounce. Listen. Stop. When at the reunion, when they played that, because apparently Rasmus cannot pronounce this girl's name to save his own life. I mean, you remember when they were in the pod, when he heard the girl's name, he actually went back to the men's lounge wondering like, oh, is she Chinese? Look, what I got from that, look, there is a lot of theories out there. People think he was wondering and kind of worried because he doesn't want to date a Chinese person, and others think it's because he actually, in fact, wants to date a Chinese person. For me, I don't. One or the other. I think is the other way. I think he was worried because he would prefer not to date a Chinese person or the person he proposed to be a Chinese person, because the worry was not like an excitement, like, oh my God, her name is Chris Lee. I hope. So your hope is at Shenisiska. Like it's not that she's saying no. It's not Rasmus. Girl, Rasmus is out here. I'm calling Rasmus she. Okay, forgive me, Rasmus. It was more of a worry. No, not as more so. I hope she's Chinese. And look, everybody has preferences, and I don't think it should be taken into context to sort of be like, oh, okay, why is it that he's worried if she's Chinese? Well, people have preference. Some people want to date tall people, some people want to date short people, some people want women that have certain type of body, some people want men that have certain body type. So for me, look, y'all, sometimes we just need to call a spade a spade. It's not that big of a deal. You have a preference. I have a preference. If he was worried because the girl's name is Chris Lee. Anyway, he explained that the reason why he thought that Chris Lee was Chinese because of Bruce Lee. Listen, if you are just hearing it and the name is not spelled out, that is a very easy mistake or misunderstanding to me, because I mean the Lee, it really does sound like Chris Lee, and you know we know that a lot of Chinese like Bruce Lee and Jet Li and all of these Lees, so it is understandable. Most of us could have made the same mistake, so for me, I'm not holding him on that. But Rasmus, stop, Rasmus, why? What Rasmus, you said that you wrote her name down like 100 times just so you'll be able to remember it. Child. And then you went at the moment of the proposal and called this girl Kimberly? Rasmus, who is Kimberly? it was laughable to look at when he when he said that, and she's like who is Kimberly? Like, seriously. No, but that was entertaining. I don't have much issue with that in that aspect with the both of them. I mean, Chris Lee laughed about it. It was okay. So hey, who are we to say who is Kimberly? Who is Kimberly Rasmus? Yeah, Kimberly is somebody. Just a name that popped up. A K name that popped up. It's just a K name that popped up in poor Rasmus's mind. Okay? All right. Now we are moving on. A clip that we still on Rasmus and Chris Lee, okay? Not Kimberly, Chris Lee. From a clip that, an unseen footage, we saw that they went to a fortune teller. Now look, listen. I don't know about fortune tellers, okay? I've seen a lot of them at amusement parks and stuff, and I have no opinion. I mean, look, your girl is originally from Africa, and fortune tellers. But anyway, they went to see a fortune teller. She's like, y'all should not be trying to have a baby anytime soon. But it's like in 2 years, there's going to be 2 girls and then a son. That is, look, I had to replay that in Swedish and in English, like the dub version. I mean, I watched these things in Swedish, not the dub version. So I watched it all in. But when she said, I'm like, okay, there are going to be 2 girls and a son that is the bad seed. I don't understand that. Look, I still don't understand what that fortune teller means, that the son will be the bad seed. I don't get it. But here we are. And as we have all also seen, Rasmus and Chris Lee, out of all the couples, seems to be the ones that are like always very lovey-dovey, like kiss me, hold me, touch me, electricity. They are those couple. That is what they were doing, and we all saw that. And while I was watching this and then taking notes because I'm nosy, I'm like, okay, these 2 people, for me, when we see them talk and everything, first of all, they talk a lot about the other couples, okay? Chris Lee is like their unappointed, I don't know, manager and the PR for every other couple, because Chris Lee is in there like everywhere. She's into everybody's business. And I think all the other women, actually, they also trust her because Chris Lee and Rasmus makes it seem like their relationship is like the most solid one. Look, it seems like that. But one thing I didn't like is how they are always coming across like, oh, like we are the power couple. We are the power couple. We have the strongest foundation. And as all of this is happening, I am watching this and thinking, okay, we haven't necessarily seen y'all have like a difficult situation to deal with. Lord knows that dog situation, Dexter and who? Wait, there is Dexter. And then the name of the other dog, I'm not sure right now. But even that situation when their dogs came together, Chris Lee damn near broke down. I was surprised when she started talking about which she can barely hold herself up, okay? She started crying and she was like, you're feeling the growth. You're feeling the growth. And I'm like, girl, cry and let us hear it. Girl, just cry it out and let us hear it. But apparently they broke up a few times. And that is because she lost herself because of that, and things were difficult and they broke up a couple of times. I'm like, girl, how many times did you all leave? Did you leave the house and went to your place? Do you still have your place, Chris Lee? How did that work? But anyway, she was very, very emotional when she spoke about this. And I mean, you see, that is Chris Lee. I said it. It's either Chris Lee is sort of like in somebody else's business, or she's emotional about others. If you don't know, there was a point where she was talking to Amanda, and she's like, "Oh, you are just so fucking amazing. You are just like an angel. You are so great. I mean, look at me. I'm having goosebumps just talking about it." And if Rasmus says no, would you marry me, please, Amanda? Because you are just that effing wonderful. So, I mean, she's very emotional. I think Chrysalie has a very good heart. I think she's a good person. I think she's right there with how everybody talks about Amanda's personality and everything. I think Chrysalie is right there. She's a sweet girl. But I'm like, wait, what? You all broke up a couple of times? But yeah, that did happen. They did broke up a couple of times. I just hope that the breaking up was not very long, nor did they kind of like, people are going to dip into other waters. I hope that is not the case, because these two, I actually want them to work out. They are a gorgeous couple. Chrysalie and Rasmus, I want them to work out. Lucas was kind of like my guy. I'm like, ooh, you ginger, you, and he's very calm with everything. And I know that he was struggling when they went to Cyprus. But the thing is, when they replayed the clip, when they first met, he was excited. He's like, she is hot, she's beautiful, and oh, she looks better than I even imagined. And I have thoughts and things in my mind that I want to do that is not in the Bible or should not be in the Bible. Yeah, one of those things should not be, or whatever. It has something to do with the Bible. Basically, he's saying she is so hot and so beautiful, more than he imagined, that there is a lot of things that he would like to do with her. But then I am thinking, what happened though when y'all got to Cyprus? Because that is when it's like he's not that interested in her. Like, it's like, he's not that into you. He was not that into her at all. And I'm like, what happened? What changed? Because when they met at the reveal, hugging and kissing and all of these things, he was holding her like on her back and kind of like on her booty, and it looked beautiful and all. But I'm like, what changed? But hey, the adrenaline of talking to someone, proposing to someone, meeting them could maybe deflect and or even shadow how you are feeling about somebody. So yeah, I mean, I know that Lucas tried in Cyprus and all of these things, but I just feel like Amelia was kind of trying way too hard, because Amelia, I felt like she kind of have this mentality of, oh, let's get the cake cut out and everything will be okay. And I actually respect Lucas for not wanting to go there from the beginning, because yeah, a lot of men, as we know, would have just gone and get the Kit Kat and move along and be like, yeah, no, it's not there. But he didn't do that, at least not from what we saw the first few days they were there. And Amelia kept kind of like going for it, and then at some point she is like, okay, I'm just doing too much, I'm carrying the relationship. Well, this is what she said at the reunion, that she realized watching it back that she was like carrying the relationship and she should not have done that. And I said, yes, girl, you should not have done that. I mean, she is a beautiful woman as well. Amelia, she's a beautiful woman as well. And I felt like, no, you should not be, not everyone is for everyone, you see. It doesn't work like, you can both look gorgeous and have all these appeals towards one another. Well, Lucas didn't have any appeal towards her, but she had all of these towards her and wants to just show her female prowess. But Lucas was not into it, which I respected. But eventually it did happen, and he was kind of sad when it did happen. And when she met the girls, Emilia met the girls. So it was Chrysalie, Mira, and Amanda. And she was like all excited that, oh, it happened. It happened. And I'm like, oh, girl, I hope for you that this is for the best. I hope it happened, because all of a sudden now he wants you, because we all know that he did not want her like that. He didn't feel that jibbity. Like, there's not that jibbity. There's not like, ooh, I want to grab and take you and do things to you that is not even in the Bible. We all know he did not feel that way when he eventually got with her. So I was semi-happy, but I was also worried. But anyway, obviously, well, not obviously, at their wedding, Emilia said yes, Lucas said no. So it didn't happen. But his reason for saying no, it's not necessarily because he's like, well, I don't want to marry you ever. His reason was like, I can't see myself saying yes to marrying you right now. And as we found out at the reunion, that after the whole show, they went on to date for 14 days. And I'm just like, but come on, Emilia, you must have seen the show. Because after the wedding and everything, the show would have started airing, right? So you must have seen it and realized that, I mean, you would see in the clips when Carolina, the two of you was his choices. Carolina is the one with the tongue, the underwear that she sent him as a gift to counter your gift from him, the whole necklace thing. You saw that. You saw how he was with her. And even when she was coming, he made a point that she is his type. You, Emilia and Carolina, are two separate female species. Like everything, from looks, from height, from everything, from hair. You are two separate people. And you must have seen the episodes. You must have seen it, because if you did, well, why did you go on to dating for 14 more days? For what? What are we trying to get out of this? I don't know. But obviously, we all saw it. We all know it's not going to work. You can date him for 14 more days. You can date him for 21 more days. You can date him for 30, 31 more days, depending if it is a leap year in February. We know this is not going to work. So I'm like, why did you even go ahead and try and possibly give more of your Kit Kat to this man? They went out to hang out with some friends, and the question was asked, I guess, by Emilia's friends, and Lucas made it know, I do not, basically he does not want to get married or have kids with her. So it's not that he doesn't want to get married or have kids at all. It is that he does not want to have it with her. And apparently, according to her, when she heard that was the night that they broke up. She's like, okay, so why did you come back? Like, why are we even doing this? And I'm asking the same question. Emilia, he said no to you at the altar. When he came back, I don't know, girl, did you go back to him or did he come back to you? I would love to know. Because if he came back to you, given what he did at the altar, yeah, you should have given him none of the fingers but the middle one. To be honest, I think Lucas is wonderful. But at some point, you just gotta deal with the situation and just take your hands out of the mess. If somebody doesn't want you, does not mean that you are not an awesome human being. Doesn't mean you're not an awesome woman, because Emilia, you are. You are gorgeous, you smart, you funny, you all of these things. You do not need to settle for situations like that. And I mean, she at the reunion, she even asked him like, what was your purpose though? Why did you want us to date after the show, after you said no to me at the altar? Why did you still want to go through dating me if you knew that I am not the person that you want to be the mother, your wife, and the mother of your kids? What was the purpose? And girl, oh God, Emilia, she cried, she was crying. And I get it. Why she wanted to know, because at this point, it's like, you already knew. You didn't just say no to me at the altar for the reason that you gave. I am not the woman you want to be your wife and want to be the mother of your kids. Hell, it came out of your own mouth later. So why did you do this? Why did you come back? And Lucas didn't have any tangible reason for this. Nah, there was nothing really. No. But the thing, you see, that is the thing with Lucas. He's just like all chilled. He's just like sitting there and he's all calm. And it makes like, you kind of feel bad for him at some point. You kind of feel bad for Lucas, because you know that he's trying to be respectful to explain things, but it's not necessarily working. But you did. Okay, now moving on. Okay, now let's talk a little bit briefly about Christopher and Katya. I mean, they left the experiment. They didn't go all the way through, but you know, they didn't go through the whole experiment, Christopher and Katya. But what we all saw, look, I'm not going to lie, I am like, Katya, what do you want? I mean, it felt like Christopher was doing all of these things, but Katya had a problem with it from what we saw. But at the reunion, as it turns out, there was some yelling matches going on between the two of them when things were not going right, and they argued and yelled at each other a lot, to the point where, you know, we saw a night when Christopher woke up and then Katya was gone. So anyway, these things happen in the background, basically, that we were not aware of. I could not guess that Christopher yelled at Katya. I'm like, what? Christopher, but the thing is, you see, Katya kept saying, oh, you are too soft, you are too kind, challenge me, say no sometimes, disagree with me sometimes. And I'm like, girl, did he eventually say no and disagree with you, and then the fighting and the yelling battle started? I don't know how that happened, but apparently that was what happened, why she left. And basically the next day they talked about it and they decided to break it off, and she decided to leave the experiment where they threw their rings. I'm like, okay, isn't that a bit exaggeration? You could sell those rings though, girl. And my hippie stallion Viking Christopher, you could have sold those rings too. Why are you all there throwing the rings away? I hope you all just threw it away for like making a dramatic thing, that y'all went back to pick those damn rings up and sold it or something, okay? Because it does not make any sense throwing those things away. Okay, that's that. However, of course, Katya is not. Katya is dating somebody, and she's dating somebody from the pot. The pot, child, excuse me. She is dating somebody from the pod. I guess it's like the earlier days. I mean, I don't think they even showed us this Katya and this guy's relationship in the pods that much. Because when she said his name, Ade, I'm like, who the hell is Ade? I don't know, no Ade. Katia, when she said she had a new boyfriend, the guy I mentioned, Ade, the host is like, okay, well, Ade said we're going to show Ade later. And then, well, this is later, okay? And they showed us like when they were actually communicating in the pod and in the pod. And Ade is kind of, look, this guy described, look, I feel like this man wants a trophy wife, a trophy doll, or something, because he had this whole description. I'm like, who the hell does that? About having a party, and then when him and his wife walks in, everybody will be jealous. Everybody will want to be them. And while they are at the party, he will introduce his wife and offer her a drink, and they will just look at each other from the other side of the room or the bar, and just basically this man wants a freaking trophy wife, okay? And I'm like, Katia, girl, you went from the Viking, you are the joy of my heart, that you felt like was suffocating you with love, to this dude, the description that he made in that pod, I felt suffocated just listening to it. Talking about, oh, we will be there, I'll offer you a drink. People will be looking at us and being jealous of us like, oh, I wish our relationship was like those people. I wish our marriage was like those people. And well, after mingling and everything, I'll offer you some more drinks. And then, by the way, we should not be the last people to leave the party, because we should leave earlier when other people are there looking at us, and while we walk away to go home, they will be wondering, they are like, oh my God, they love each other so much, and we can only imagine what they are going to do when they get home, and they will all just be jealous and want to be us. And I said, what? Katia, what? This is the guy you decided out of all of these to go out with? Yeah, well, that's what she did. I don't get it. That is not going anywhere. If that goes anywhere, I will shave my head, okay? I will go bald. If Katia and Ade's relationship goes any further or even reach to marriage, I will shave my goddamn head, okay? It's not going to happen. Anyway, they brought him up because they did say that they were going to bring Katia's boyfriend. They brought him into the reunion for like a boop, boop, boop second. Don't care for it. Don't care for him. I think he's shallow. I mean, he even went in there not thinking that love is blind. He's like, yeah, no, I don't think so. He went in there. The purpose of the show, this man went in there not even believing in that. So I'm like, huh? Why is he here though? I mean, Katia could have just told us that she's dating somebody from the show. We don't give a damn. We don't care. But anyway, they still brought him in. Poor Christopher. When he walked in, look. If I had like a superpower eyes to sense heat, Christopher was burning bright. Tiger burning bright. Christopher was burning goddamn bright. You can see he do. Shut up, like, Christopher, don't do it. We need you in Visby. We have a day in Visby, Christopher. You're in there. I was, in fact, at some point, look, my mind was going on to some crazy reality shows when people are out here jumping on each other. I thought, oh my God, Christopher is going to jump and attack this one, because I could feel it through the TV. He was flaming pissed. And then the guy came to sit there. I don't even care too much for what they got going on to even pay attention to it. But he came, he sat there. We don't care. Ade and Katia, we don't care. Bye-bye. We are ending this on the first couple that we talked about, Samander, Sergio and Amanda. Samander. Anyway, this I think of it, I did not understand why people were like coming in there like in the dark. I'm like, why? Why is it like dark and they were just showing like people's legs, thighs and legs down? I'm like, what is going on? In fact, that completely threw me off because I thought, oh, maybe people are not together and they try to confuse us to not let us know who is still together and who is not. That is why they are like, the room is dark. And no, at this point, I might just be going crazy in my head. But at this point, I felt like they did that because of Amanda especially. And I'm sure you're thinking, why? Mariah, why would they do that? Because of Amanda. Well, the gaggery of it all, which is why I actually think that Samantha, they are still together. It's why I think that Amanda and, oh girl, child, oh, look, okay, I am like heated and everything, and I'll be looking for these people on the streets here in Stockholm because your girl lives right in the corner from where all of these things is happening. So your girl is going to be like looking out for these people. Can you believe this? Amanda, they sat there and they're like, well, it's not just the two of us here today, it's the three of us. And I said, no, Amanda, no. What? Amanda, what? Girl, are you okay? Amanda, are you okay? Well, I'm still asking that question. Amanda, are you okay? Because when she said that, I said, no, I am like, they did not bring that child. The child that he has, I'm like, they did not bring the child here. And while I was trying to wrestle my brain on what she meant by there is three of them here, not two, this girl got up and she has a freaking baby bump. She is pregnant. Amanda is pregnant for Sergio. On behalf of Amanda's pastor, father, let's take a moment of silence and prayers for her and for them. Okay, now, Amanda, why? Okay, and the baby is due the day before their wedding anniversary. So the wedding anniversary on the show, the baby is due the day before. I'm like, Amanda, look, you found out that this man had a kid 2 months after your wedding. Y'all are just getting into this. In fact, people date for at least a year or more and lots more years before they get to this point of even engagement, marriage, or kids. All of these things seems to be happening within a year. And when you find out that this man had a kid with another woman, which he didn't tell you about, because you cannot tell me, nobody stole his body, his manly part, to go and stick it into somebody months before he went into this experience. No, he went and have a meeting with a Kit Kat, and this happened. And when you found that out 2 months after your wedding, you did not make any effort to prevent yourself from immediately being pregnant for this man. You let it go and then you got freaking pregnant. Now you're pregnant. Oh, no. Look, don't misunderstand me. Kids are a blessing. I have a bunch of them, okay? Kids are a blessing, but it should also be in the right, stable environment. For me, Sergio is not that. Now, you are welcome, Samantha, Sergio and Amanda, to prove us all wrong. Hell, all your castmates did not think that there will be a yes on the altar, or y'all will still even be together. All your castmates think so. And we all think so too. We were all thinking it, that y'all are not going to, even if there is a yes at the altar for whatever reason, y'all will still not be together up until the reunion. But you proved us wrong for some reason. I don't know what the reason is. I cannot get it. No. It will be too damn hard for me to get into Sir Amanda's brain to understand, but mainly Amanda's brain to understand what is going on. But this pregnancy, girl, you went from being single, in a couple of weeks being engaged, another couple of weeks being married, and shortly after that, basically finding out that you are a potential stepmother, and then months after that, you got pregnant for this same man? No, Amanda, look, Amanda, for your sake, I wish you well, Amanda. I do. I wish you all the best. In fact, for your sake, I wish this works. I wish that this marriage will work. I wish that whatever shittiness that Sergio have in him, everybody is worth saving. Everybody, well, I cannot say everybody can change because, well, at this point, I'm not saying that for Sergio, but for your sake, just for your sake, Amanda, I wish this will work. And y'all will have a happily ever marriage. The one that nobody saw coming. Please, I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. I want you, Amanda and Sergio, to surprise us all. That this was it all the time. And there were parts that were shown to us that puts him in like the bad light, sort of like blame it on the edit. I would like that to happen for the both of you. I wish you success. Wait, when Amanda revealed that she was pregnant, look, Chrisley's face, it is hard to explain. Is she like, look, Chrisley is in everybody's business, and it is very, this is another thing that is hard for me, that none of the castmates knew that Amanda was pregnant because they talked to each other a lot. Chrisley and Amanda were close and everything. So when I saw the surprise on their faces, I'm like, you gotta be some good goddamn actresses or actors, because you know the women know and then they tell their men. Look, it's hard for me to believe that nobody knew about this pregnancy. I just don't necessarily believe it. Especially, I felt like even if nobody knew, Chrisley would know, because Chrisley is that type of girl. She finds out and knows things about everybody. But I mean, her face, like, if she knew and was just acting the shock, girl, you win the award for the best actress. If you stayed this long, thank you. I appreciate you being here with me. Yeah, I mean you. Yeah, you right there. I really do appreciate you being here. This is my first video, so if you found it by chance or anywhere that you found it, I appreciate that you stayed to listen to me. And I can only talk to you about all of these things if you comment and like this video. And please subscribe. This is my first video. And if I don't have the subscription or the likes, I mean, even if I don't have those, I will still be making the videos, by the way. Let's just get that clear. But I would appreciate it if you subscribe, like, and comment so we can chat with each other. Let's talk about all of this. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Bye now.